Hey guys, it's Taylor, and today I'm going to be telling you about how people communicate without saying a single word. And you might be thinking, no, that's crazy. Communication is talking. So, how are you going to say that somebody's communicating if they're not talking? Well, the answer to that is actually very simple: body language. Body language includes things like facial expressions, body posture, and actual gestures and movements. Body language is something that people express their feelings and thoughts through, since they can't seem to find a way to communicate them through talking. People tend to do this because when they get in situations where they're feeling a little bit nervous or uncomfortable, stressed, etc., they don't know how to exactly express these feelings. It's easy if you're happy to just go out and be happy and be nice to everybody, but if you're starting to get nervous, you can stutter, you can blank on what you're thinking. There's many different things that can happen if somebody's getting nervous and they don't know what to do. So whether they know it or not, they actually express these emotions and feelings through their body language. With their facial expressions, finding out what they're thinking is most commonly found within their eyebrows or their eyes. When it comes to the eyebrows, you can tell if somebody's nervous if they keep raising their eyebrows. Now, this could either mean that they're nervous or they're uncomfortable about what you're talking about. Another thing with eyebrows is if they have furrowed eyebrows, or associated with this is a tightened jaw and a tightened neck. Those three combined are all big signs of stress. Now, moving on to the eyes. The eyes are what give everything away. Most commonly, a fake smile and lying. When it comes to a fake smile, if you are having a conversation with somebody and they just start smiling and you're really thinking to yourself, I wonder if they're actually smiling, look at their eyes. If it is a fake smile, they won't have little wrinkles, because only real, genuine smiles cause somebody to get wrinkles around the outside of their eyes. Second, lying. I guess not everybody, but most people commonly know that if you're having a conversation with somebody and they're avoiding eye contact, they don't want to look at you, it probably means they're lying. Well, that is very true. But some liars try to counteract this theory by making good eye contact with you, but they don't realize that they're actually giving themselves away again. As they look at you, they tend to stare a little bit too long and a little bit too much. So if you notice this, they might be lying to you. Moving on to body posture. There are three main things I will focus on: a proper body posture, a slouched body posture, and an overpowering one. When it comes to a very proper posture, that tends to mean that somebody's confident within themselves and that they feel good. If you see somebody who's slouched over and their head's down, it could most commonly mean that they're upset, they're stressed, or they just don't feel confident. There are other meanings behind a slouched body posture, but those are the most common ones. If you notice, some people, especially political figures, tend to have a very overpowered stance. This is because they're trying to feel dominant, or they do feel dominant. But it's not always that case. Sometimes they do something that they feel a sense of achievement for. And you might do it yourself. Say you play a sport and you just made a really great play and you get happy and you stand up really tall and proud. Now, moving on to body gestures such as hand motions, shaking leg, copying body language. Those are very common ones. So, as most people know, hand motions and a shaking leg tend to mean that somebody is a little bit nervous, especially a shaking leg. That is sign for nervousness, stress, etc. When it comes to hand gestures, people might fidget with themselves. They might touch their face. They might play with their hair. This is another huge sign that somebody is nervous. As you can tell, a lot of these signs relate to somebody being nervous. But if somebody's copying your body language when you guys are having a conversation, this is actually a really good thing. If you notice that every single time you put your leg over your other leg, they do the same, this means that they are connected and feel very interested and invested in your guys' conversation. So if you notice this, you're allowed to be happy about it. It's a really good sign, and it means that the conversation is going really well. So overall, all of my topics really focused on people being stressed and what they do when they're stressed. And as I mentioned before, it's because people have a really hard time expressing these emotions. So as I said, whether they know it or not, this is what people tend to do. I hope that this was very useful. And if you're having a conversation with somebody and you're noticing all these little signs, I hope that you can remember back and think, I wonder what this means. Oh wait, I remember.